Dude is awesome.
20 great seasons. Home Depot sponsoring the show. And the news that we brought to you earlier this morning, Matt Rule going to be named the head coach at Nebraska. He rebuilt Temple, he rebuilt Baylor, of late with the Carolina Panthers. Trev Alberts went after him relentlessly and finally got him, and we're pleased to be joined by the new head coach of the Big Red, Matt Rule. So Matt, you were certainly comfortable financially. You could have had a career in broadcasting, at least for a little while. What made you decide to go ahead and take the Nebraska job now?
Well, I think it was really two things. The further you're away from it, the more you miss the players, the more you miss the locker room and coaching. And then, this is Nebraska. This is a team that I grew up not just watching. I mean, this is a team that I grew up revering. And so, Trev Alberts, Admiral Ted Carter, they ran an unbelievable search. And I could see right away that the leadership is right. There's tremendous alignment. It's got the greatest fan base in football, a storied history, a storied tradition. And at the end of the day, I just felt like, it fits me. I'm a guy that likes to go places and develop players. That's my passion in life, is to watch players grow on and off the field. And no one in history has done that better than the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And so it just seemed like the right fit, and I'm excited to get there.
It seems like a key word that you've heard a lot around that search that we've heard from Trev, that this program needs development, need to develop players. How do you get Nebraska back into contention to win conference championships and even more?
Well, I think it all comes back to that. I mean, there's lots of good football players out there. I sat there last year and watched the draft. I think it was six or seven Baylor kids get drafted. Guys that weren't highly recruited, guys that weren't five-star players, but they came and they played for us. And then they played for Dave Aranda, who's a tremendous coach. And they built themselves into NFL players on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, in the weight room. They also got, degrees and second degrees, and their lives are better. And so, to me, players that want to come to Nebraska, they have to want to be NFL players. They have to want to do more in their life than just play football. They have to want to get great educations, because you know what? We're going to push them. But if they come, anybody can help you get to the NFL. We're going to help guys get second contracts. We're going to help guys, when they get to the NFL, be pros. And that's really been our specialty. When you look across the National Football League, there's players from Temple and Baylor doing great things. And we want to do the same thing at Nebraska.
Matt, all of us on this desk are excited about you coming back to college football, and great to see you in Nebraska, and wish you all the best. There's a stigma right now on Nebraska. They just brought one of their own back in Scott Frost, and it didn't work out. There were a few coaches before him where it didn't work out. Truly, they've not been a national title contender for over 20 years. When you look at the potential of that fan base, the history, the tradition, the facilities, what do you have to do in the modern era of NIL and transfer portal to get Nebraska back to where they truly belong as a national title contender?
Well, I think when you go back, to the heyday, and I had a chance to talk to Coach Osborne this morning. That's like a bucket list item for me. But when you go back and look at, the 5 national championships, all the things that happened in the great, great days of Nebraska football, it all goes back to me to alignment. And when the head football coach and the athletic director and the president and the chancellor, when everybody wakes up every day, with the same mission, then you have a chance to do great things. And I think we want to go there. We want to rally the entire state behind Nebraska football. We know that they love the team. But to me, it's about everybody moving in the same direction. We can't look backwards. We can't look to the side. We've got to put our head down and look straight ahead. And as I went through this process, Kirk, I looked at a lot of the powers in football right now. And a lot of them they had some times where they were a little bit dormant. And the right people came in at the right time. This isn't just about me. It's about everybody that joined me. I think Mickey Joseph has done a tremendous job. One of the things that drew me to it is knowing that Scott has been there for the last several years. Scott Frost is a coach that I truly respect and consider a friend. And so I know that program, has a good culture. I know they know how to work. Now it's about just all of us picking up and moving forward, everybody in the state of Nebraska of one accord. And if we do that, great days will be ahead.
Matt, congratulations on the new job. Glad to have you back in college football. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that is As Mike Ruhlman, our stage manager, huge Nebraska fan. He's giddy behind the camera. He should be.
He just landed the prize right there. That's a big time hire. Yep.
Superdog standings fueled by Pizza Hut. It's tied at the top. Look at Brutus with my belt in the way. We got a three-way tie at the top, and Pollock is right 1 point back.
Down the stretch they come.
Here we come. This is the last week of it, by the way. Who got LC? Look at this.
Gotta go Hawaii, LC.
Texas A&M plus 10 versus LSU. It's only natural that the Tigers are looking forward to Georgia. This A&M team has been the biggest disappointment of the entire year.
Oh, man.
So it figures A&M upsets the Tigers and makes their own season. All right.
I mean, LC wins back-to-back weeks with Hawaii in a different time zone, and they're not playing today.
They're playing here.
I'm going Vandy. I have 14 points at home against Tennessee. Vandy trying to get to a bowl. Some incentive. Tennessee, disappointing loss last week. See if Vandy can anchor down today.
Well, I tell you what, Kirk, I'm going Vandy too, because Hendon Hooker is out ACL. So sad to see that happen last week. And 14 points, a lot of points. And Joe Milton's the quarterback. And, nothing personal against Joe, but I remember Joe was in Michigan. And I'm not sure they can beat Vandy by 14.
I'm in dead last, so I'm not sure I fully understand the rules of this thing. But the old Oaken Bucket started in 1891. And the only hope for IU to have a happy offseason or a glimmer of hope going forward is to beat Purdue today. Purdue's in a Big Ten championship, but I think Indiana.
Go Indiana, beat Purdue.
What's that, Bob?
Pollock. Hey, Pollock.
There we go. Hey, I'm taking the Irish, baby. We are going to run the football, play a little bit of defense, but score a lot of points, keep the ball away from Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Win the game outright, and I'm going to win the Superdog.
Make a play like
that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Good luck with that. Good luck.
Amazing.
I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina. Now, they're already in the Sun Belt title game. They are a 2-touchdown dog to James Madison. James Madison can't go to the title game. Coastal loses. They're going to say, well, we were the best in the division. I know there's no Grayson McCall, but I'm not going to overthink it. I'll take the teal mullets and the big points.
That's an easy win.
All right, it is. Oh, no.
Good pick.
I'm going to start singing Rocky Top like right now. They're trying to root against Vanderbilt. Here are the Superdog selections. People going big or going home. There's some 2-touchdown under. Except look at Pollock playing it conservatively there. Notre Dame, USC.
Could be the smart play.
It could be. It could be.
There's a lot on the line there today.
I'd like to see Ohio State and Michigan cooperating right there, too. They both just
both picked the same
going to win.
They're in the lead. They lose. You win. I mean, Reese, we're talking about a whole new ball game.
There we go.
I would feel okay with that because RD hasn't won it yet.
That's right. It's charity.
Exactly. I feel good with that.
DoorDash counting down to kickoff South Carolina and Clemson.
We're proud of you.
Congrats, Reese.
Hey, look, I'm like Mississippi State. I go 8-4, 7-5.
Just Clemson could run a lot today.
Clemson and South Carolina, intense rivalry got ratcheted after last week.
Tennessee brings some pressure. McDowell open, makes a man miss. Touchdown, South Carolina! Are you kidding me?
I don't know that I've ever seen a team be hotter than what they were last week. I thought the quarterback was outstanding. He makes some throws you can't defend.
That was probably the best game he's played all year. I think there's going to be emphasis, just try to make it as stressful as we can for him, because when he's comfortable, he's very dangerous.
Gets waffled! Trenton Simpson buries him.
The front seven's very good. Big, physical, SEC-type defense in the ACC, so we're going to have to handle them up front. Their group of defensive line and linebackers, every single one of them will play in the NFL, so we've got to do a great job of being able to help Spencer, and the number one way to do that is to be able to run the ball, but it's easier said than done.
We're going to play in Death Valley. ROTC members at Clemson, they protect the rock and they bang the drum 24 hours a day starting on Thursday.
Wow.
Started doing this in 1960 to make sure that South Carolina people don't come in there and mess up that rock. Time for the best in game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. See, these two have played for a long time. 119th meeting. Clemson has a huge edge. They've won 7 in a row. It's tied the longest streak ever by either team. But you know what? I thought last week South Carolina's performance was the best single game performance by any team all season that went over Tennessee.
After watching South Carolina rack up 63 against Tennessee, if I'm the defensive coach at Clemson, I start blitzing the quarterback as soon as the team bus rise.
Yeah.
I put the pressure on him, and I keep pressing until the 17 points. But now listen to this.
Yep.
By the way, Clemson is the only program in the country to have 40 sacks every year in the college football era. Only team to have 40 or more sacks in the era.
They bring it.
And, you know, that's the thing, too. Coach makes a great point there because Spencer Rattler in his career has struggled with pressure. Give me a quick pick.
Yeah, and I don't think Spencer Rattler's going to play like that again, so I'm going Clemson.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can't wait to see Will Shipley and what he can do today. He could run for 250 yards today, potentially.
Clemson.
Yeah, I think Clemson wins at home.
Yeah.
That's clean sweep.
Yeah.
132 miles. They're protecting the rock. I mean,
it can be in the jinx.
drum.
That's on ABC at noon Eastern time. Rattler said this week changes the whole trajectory of the rivalry.
Good last week.
Yesterday, he sure did. Baylor in Texas. Bijan Robinson's second touchdown of the day. He gave Texas the lead. Remember, the Horns had to win to stay alive for a spot in the Big 12 championship game. How about that run?
That was sick.
beast.
Good.
Dog.
Good
Sean Johnson.
Good for Texas after that TCU loss. Looked like they might go away, and they fought back to get 2 wins to finish their season.
Sark's got an awesome culture building down there.
Yeah, he does. Going in the right direction for sure.
So these are the Big 12 championship game scenarios. TCU's already in. Kansas State needs to beat Kansas. Bear has that on the board. We're going to get to that in just a second. And then Texas is able to get in with a Kansas State loss against Kansas. TCU takes on Iowa State. I mentioned it earlier. 2014, they blew out Iowa State. They still didn't go to the playoffs. Some scars remain there, but they do have a Big 12 championship game to go as they get ready for this showdown after a Thanksgiving feast.
Griffin Kale has nailed it. The Frogs survive here in Waco.
Hard to win every game. That's why there's 4 teams out of 130 that have done it. You know how big of a challenge Iowa State's going to be.
I mean, that's going to be the best defense statistically we played all year.
These are tight ends and what they're going to need to shut down their tight ends and definitely their running game as well.
Very physical teams, and they're definitely not going to come in here and just roll over for. You know, it's the same mentality every week. Our next game is our biggest game.
We've been in so many dogfights, and it's the culture of this program. It's playing the next play, continuing to believe in everybody, and continuing to fight.
They literally fought to the last second or find them on the ice when hell freezes over, as they say at TCU. TCU's 5-0 on the season when trailing in the second half, and that last play against Baylor, remarkable.
Yeah, it was remarkable. Let's take a look at this, okay? Because it always feels like the most prepared team is always the most lucky team. The execution of this fire drill, I think they call it bazooka. The entire field goal operation team is gathered in one spot, ready to make their way onto the field. This is practice. Mark Tommerdahl, the special teams coordinator, and Sonny Dice gets everybody in there. Look at the offensive linemen who are not a part of the field goal unit, missing the field goal unit. Yeah. Everybody is in unison. Everybody's prepared. Right. It looks chaotic, but they practice this every single week. Yep. Kicker cannot take the steps. He's got to just aim it, eyeball that thing, and then he continues TCU's hopes of the college football playoff. That is incredibly well executed. NFL teams will be showing film of that. Everybody practices it every single week. You never have to use it. They executed it to perfection.
Tommerdahl told me that that's the first play on the script every Thursday.
Every day. They do it every single week.
I just wanted to ask you about the kicker himself. Is it almost better to not have to think about what's at stake and just run out there and kick?
You know, I think there's obviously some kickers that react better when there's less thinky, more just kicky. Yeah. And I think he is certainly one of them. That was an incredible kick in a big moment.
Great execution.
With so much on the line.
The holder is very important.
So the holder's given the spot, right? So the holder has to know where the line of scrimmage is more than anybody else.
Right.
He's given the spot. The kicker eyeballs the spot. Everybody has to be in unison. Incredible coaching job. And I think it showcases Sonny Dykes and Mark Tommerdahl getting everybody in their first year buying into the details. And that's why they've been able to come back in second half.
But the holder is important, too, because he has to watch the clock. You want that to be the very last play of the game.
And everybody has to be set.
TCU's a 10-point favorite today. Iowa State's played a lot of close games. Going to find out who they play in the Big 12 championship game. Bear, will it be Kansas State? And what are you doing on your board?
I think it will, but there's a lot of pressure on Kansas State. You've won 13 straight in the series, the last 3 haven't necessarily been close. But Kansas, you would think after just giving up, 55 last week to Texas and 400 and something on the ground. You would assume that in this game, in the season that they've had, a rivalry game, they're going to show up and play better. 12 seems like a lot to lay. I think K-State will win, but I do think the Jayhawks will keep it close.
Rivalry game. Keep it close. Okay.
I do think we'll be headed towards TCU K-State number 2 next week.
Yeah, one of those second-half comebacks TCU had was coming from 18 down against K-State. Got a quick one, LC?
TCU has won 7 straight. If people call it luck, I call it destiny.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Could be.
Maybe so. Matt Campbell will try to push him again today. Bears got the board filled out. We'll go inside the stadium coming up later on in College Game Day. And now to Jess and David for You Had One Job.
Reese, I'm a little hungry. Some dog chow. Oh!
You held that good. That was nice.
David's dog chow.
Hey, 3,467 grams of protein per bite. It's beautiful.
David's dots. Connect the dots to reveal David's favorite breed of dog. What is your favorite breed?
Might be a bulldog, I guess.
I mean, we'll see.
Beautiful.
This is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Solid? That's good.
It's pretty solid.
I like how Pat and them showed the positive kickers. I bet you on You Had One Job, we have some negative kickers.
Presented by Geico. Let's check this out. So Sparky the Sun Devil and Wilbur T. Wildcat. Really awkward yesterday. They thought the territorial Cub rivalry game was between mascots.
Look at that. Those are hands. Those are real hands.
Those are real hands.
Somebody gonna go to sleep with throws like that. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
I love that.
Why did it take so long to break it up, though?
Hands out there.
But then up next, so, I mean, this is what happens when boredom drives you to
like
do it. This
passing the baton?
Is that that's A&M, I think, guys.
It is. It's Texas A&M taking advantage of the empty stadium.
That's what it's come to.
Yeah.
I mean, now we got Duke the punter.
There's a
Porter
punter.
Wilson awaits to punt the ball to Pitt with a flock of pigeons feasting behind him.
What's wrong with that?
I think it's cute.
Yeah, I didn't know about cute.
Oh, like those are those Pittsburgh pigeons, too. Those are some tough pigeons.
And now we got Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin's son, Knox Kiffin, celebrating with the team after a touchdown on Thursday versus Mississippi State.
Well, he wasn't celebrating after the game, but I guess get it in while you can get it in. Get it in. There we go.
Knox asked Mississippi State quarterback Will Rogers for his towel, and he said yes, and look, he made good on his promise.
That's nice. Good job. Good job, Will.
You can see their communication to the right.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It is.
I thought you were the enemy, though. Like the Egg Bowl, like we're not friends, we're enemies. Like I don't like you.
Frenemies.
No, just enemies.
Okay.
Just enemies. Yeah, just enemies.
Just
back
enemies.
to you, Reese. Just enemies. Just enemies. No friends.
Back to you, Reese.
Absolutely not.
In the Egg Bowl, that's probably true. Might be true in the game, at least for this 60 minutes. There's Blake Corum warming up. Pete Thamel's reported he's going to give it a go today. We're going to find out how effective he is after getting banged up in that Illinois game. Only played a couple of snaps after getting hurt last week. We'll be keeping a close eye on him. Richard Lewis, Ohio State alum, Curb Your Enthusiasm actor, unique perspective on this rivalry game, and we'll also have a responsible opposing view. And Gene Wojciechowski with the story of Maurice Clarett, who's gotten his life back in order and back in the good graces in Columbus.
I was heading down memory lane, and like you never know how this moment of your life shapes you.
At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make holiday magic, especially when it comes to getting the perfect gift. For all those project-doing, technology-loving, holiday hosting, tool organizing, woodshop working people in your life. And gifts for everyone else in between. Get Black Friday savings all through November at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Trash. If we can't punch this one in, we don't deserve to win.
What?
Oh. Looks about 30 yards.
Yes, touchdown!
It's too much. It's college football with AT&T 5G. It's never too much. Sorry.
Trojans winning? Oh yeah, we're winning.
AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
Hey, girls! Hi. Are you kidding me? Is that for me? Oh, can't wait to see what you got your mother.
The BMW Road Home Sales Event. On now. Receive a lease loyalty credit of up to $3,250 on select models now through November 30th.
This Thanksgiving weekend.
What the hell is going on?
Eat. Drink.
We're gonna die tonight.
Run.
You'll be given 45 seconds to escape.
Can I get the rest to go?
The menu. Now playing rated R.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
What do you got there? Hospital bill for me?
Mm-hmm.
For $1,200?
Gap!
Did you say Gap?
Yeah, he did.
He's talking about expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. Gap!
That's why there's Aflac. It pays you money to help close that gap. Aflac, huh?
Don't tell me he high-stepping. He stole my move.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At X-Chair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. X-Chair has done it again with our groundbreaking LMX technology, providing hours of infinite comfort no matter where in the world you're sitting. By synthesizing the universe's elements, bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience, our mission is to help you discover that every workday can happen with body and mind in an out-of-this-world place of comfort and productivity. X-Chair is charting a new course, helping workers everywhere find comfort as their work worlds zoom back and forth. Even though your work reality may continue to shift, we've got our eye on the future of work so you can focus on the present. Save up to $600 on a new X-Chair and receive a free heat and massage unit during our Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, our biggest sales event of the year. 1 week only. Go to xchair.com.
Back here in Columbus, closing in on kickoff of the game, just over an hour away. I don't know if Jim does that when he plays blackjack. That's a reference to the quote about Ryan Day being born on third base, thinking he hit a triple. England blew a 13-colony lead.
Good draw yesterday. Good draw yesterday.
No shots on. We had a couple shots on.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Almost.
You know, Richard Lewis, a comedian extraordinaire, has a marketing degree from Ohio State and apparently a master's in trolling that school up north.
Look at this place, man. Jeez.
I hate Michigan. I have a total distrust, for anyone who went to school there. I know a handful of people who graduated University of M. They didn't like to have fun. I send love to them, but they're not going to get much love on this day. Let's just say that. Today, they are a hated population. There is no chance that the Michigan team is going to walk into the shoe and not be freaked out of their minds. They're going to want to give the game to Ohio State because we're that powerful. And look at the Coach Day. Look at his beard. Look at that beard. He's like Houdini. He looks like a mystic. When you pump up the team with that, whatever that dance is you do, you go, whatever that is. I don't know. It looks like you're having a nervous breakdown. The whole team is going, whatever that is, Coach. Never stop doing that psychotic dance with the team before the game. I don't care if it's croquet, badminton, knitting. I just do not want to see a Michigan team win in anything. We're never satisfied any year unless we beat Michigan. And I want my Ohio State fans to scream, go crazy today. I know you're out there. Show them how we're going to scream. Go on.
That's right. Noted Ohio State alum, Richard Lewis.
Cannot curb his enthusiasm for this rivalry. Signs, big sign game here. And we've got someone else rolling in that knows a little something about the rivalry. The great Taylor Lewan is here. Terrific All-Pro in the NFL, great standout player at Michigan.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words, sir.
To win this rivalry. What did you think of Richard Lewis?
What's that?
What did you think of Richard Lewis?
I thought Dick had a lot of nice, good things to say about this university and the hatred going between the two universities.
He said a lot of great things about Ryan Day. Being Houdini, that man, the only thing he did in the last 24 hours is get a nice spray tan and walk in there because that man is 1-1 versus the University of Michigan. And if he loses today, he is the last coach to do that since 1989. You guys are in a rough little turmoil area. Now, I will say this. The university, I came in here feeling like the heavy-set guy from Full Metal Jacket. I thought I was going to wake up in the middle of the night, a bunch of bars of soap hitting me.
Yeah.
But I have been brought here. Other than this, people have been loving.
Yeah.
They have been caring and respectful. And honestly, the key to happiness is low expectations, and I have felt that today.
You'll love this because a friend of all of ours, before we even got going here, just wanted to say hello to you for our segment.
I appreciate that, fellas.
What up, everybody? This is Mike Vrabel, head football coach of the Tennessee Titans and former Buckeye, and also Taylor's daddy. Hope you guys are enjoying Columbus, Ohio. Can't wait to watch this game, man. It is going to be amazing. Taylor, you be safe coming back here to Nashville. We'll be waiting for you. Go Bucks.
Taylor's daddy.
What'd you say?
He said he was Taylor's
Mike
daddy.
Vrabel, listen, if you live in Davidson County, I have 45-year-old men come up to me and call me father. That's my joke. You stole it. Mike Vrabel is an incredible man. These people are incredible. And I hope, listen, we got Bengals tomorrow. It's going to be a great game.
Oh, let's ask him a serious question about the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
Last year, the buzz after this game was Michigan's offensive line really asserted themselves as a game. I know you watched it again even this week just to kind of familiarize yourself with what happened in that game. Not just what happened that day. How does that impact today? After a year long of Ohio State thinking about it, and Michigan maybe better this year up front.
I think they look great on the offensive line, led by Trevor Keegan, number 77. I think a lot of people say, hey, Michigan really ran that game the whole entire time. Hold on, folks. I actually disagree. In the first half, it was 14-13. Both teams are playing well. They blame it on the weather. I think the offensive line has gotten better. They got Buddy from Virginia Tech now playing center for them. They have done a tremendous job all year. I expect that to happen today, and I expect Michigan to win in Columbus for the first time in a very, very long time.
Okay, so obviously you were saying hear me out to them in the middle of your answer, then at the end you kind of bury them. And
it's a sandwich theory.
Hey, Bustin' with the Boys, incredible podcast. You're doing great work, and you're an incredible football player. As I was listening to you and Kirk talk last night at dinner where we were eating Herb Street rolls.
Yes.
That was the name of the sushi roll we were eating, Herb Street rolls. He ordered it. I'll take 2 Herb Street rolls. It's on the menu. Give them to me. They were delicious.
Amazing.
They were delicious.
They were incredible.
I felt like I was with royalty because I was, but we were chit-chatting about the good old days of Michigan having big boys and a big offensive line. And obviously you had incredible success at the NFL. Feels like they're getting back to that though, right, at Michigan?
It does feel that way.
Does that feel good?
It does. I'm almost willing to go to say the Big Ten. Michigan is the Tennessee Titans of the Big Ten. They're not flashy. They're not going to kill you with a bunch of deep passes and stuff like that. They're going to control the clock, play great defense, not make mistakes in special teams.
You can still win.
But the offensive line is definitely a huge key on that offense to make sure that they're going to score points and keep the game clock in check for this electric wide receiving crew that they have at Ohio State.
They got weapons and weapons.
Weapons and weapons. It is a wild, wild deal here. Folks.
So you broke down the offense defensively. What do you see when you look at Michigan's defense? How are they going to attack C.J. Stroud and that high-powered passing game that they get?
I think the biggest thing for them is don't try to do anything that you've been doing all year. The defense has played incredibly. Lost a bunch of key guys, especially those 2 on the end.
Exactly.
Aiden Hutchinson and Ajoku.
Jabo.
Yeah, Ajabo. They lost them. We thought, hey, the defense might not be what we want them to be.
Right.
They have played stellar football all year. Those guys have done an incredible job. I think they just keep doing what they're doing. Do what you do well. Edge, wall, swarm, and keep it going the way you have.
There you go.
Taylor, thanks a lot, man.
Boys, I
great
appreciate
fun.
it.
Great fun having you. Taylor,
the great Taylor Lewan. Let's go.
Look at this.
Getting a mix
something. They love you. You did something.
They're headed inside soon. For 20 years, 20 years ago, they've had some joy over Maurice Clarett. Remember what he did against the Buckeyes? They won 14-9. Clarett scored in the first half. Went over 100 yards in a game in which Michigan actually had more first downs, but they won that game, went on to win the national championship in that victory against Miami. But in the nearly 20 years since, Maurice Clarett really had no place at his school, the program that he helped deliver a national championship to. His one-hit wonders suddenly carried him from stardom to incarceration to a separation from the school here at Ohio State. But as Jim Wojciechowski tells us, against all odds, Maurice Clarett not only has put together his life once again, he's rebuilt a relationship with Ohio State.
I would define redemption for Maurice as a guy who looked very much like a grown man at 18.
This kid's the real deal.
But had to go through a lot to figure out who he was.
My definition of redemption, overcoming adversity.
I just view time different than people though. I remember being in prison, you would feel yourself aging in place. And you would make like these promises to yourself that I'll never take it for granted again.
Maurice Clarett tries to cram 30 hours into a 24-hour day because he wasted so many of them in the past. But 20 years ago, as a true freshman running back at Ohio State, Clarett made the most of his college football Saturdays.
He is the first true freshman to start in the history of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
They started to hand Maurice the ball. I was like, wow, like, okay, here you go. Okay, he's warming up.
Maurice Clarett, first big play of his Buckeye career is a touchdown. Goodbye, Maurice. That's number 3.
And then the crowd started chanting, Maurice, Maurice. It was like, boom, the splash. And Maurice Clarett was all across the country. It was like instant stardom.
Clarett was a football revelation and a national sensation. In the 2002 BCS championship against Miami, he made a hustle play for the ages.
Picked off by Sean Taylor.
I could see Sean running down the sideline, and the first thing I identified was like, yo, he's not carrying the ball right. So I just went to pursue and grab the ball from him.
Maurice Clarett with the play of the game.
And in double overtime, he made what turned out to be the game-winning run.
Clarett, touchdown. Now the party begins for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
There's no 2002 national champion Ohio State team without Maurice Clarett.
As it turned out, that 5-yard carry would be the final play of Clarett's 11-game career at Ohio State. So what happened?
What happened?
What happened to Maurice Clarett?
You self-destruct when you hate yourself.
The downward spiral began in 2003, when Ohio State suspended him indefinitely for accepting then improper benefits. He sued the NFL in 2004 in hopes of entering the league a year early, but ultimately lost the case. In 2005, he was drafted by the Denver Broncos in the 3rd round, but was cut at the end of training camp and never played a down in the NFL.
It just, took him into a bad depression.
He's at that point deciding whether he wants his life to continue.
Every day became a fistfight with himself and his demons. Clarett turned to alcohol and prescription drugs.
I was mad at myself from all of the failure. My life is just in the dumps in comparison to what I thought it was going to be at that point.
Please state your emergency. Someone came up to this lady and robbed her. He said it was Maurice Clarett.
After leading Columbus police on a high-speed chase.
Police tried to pull Clarett out of the driver's seat. They say he resisted.
Chemical mace to subdue.
Yeah, was he dealing with 4 loaded guns? Why did he have a bulletproof vest on?
Clarett served 3.5 years for aggravated robbery and carrying a concealed weapon before early release in 2010. He emerged not only a changed man, but an inspired one.
Really, Dad?
He devoted himself to his family.
That's what he does.
He doesn't want people to be left with the prison images. He wants people to know that he's not the 18-year-old kid who did everything at Ohio State.
Hey, man. Yeah.
What Maurice has done since he's got out of prison, he did a 180.
It's almost like he's replaced football with business.
Clarett's businesses include medical facilities, a counseling center for mental health and substance abuse.
Thank you.
Commercial and residential real estate, and public speaking gigs. True to his promise, no day is wasted.
I set my mind to something, kept my head clear. I honed the information in that I learned during my incarceration to do something better with myself.
And who would have thought Clarett would become friends with Warren Buffett, the 5th richest person in the world?
Come on.
But there was one piece of business still to be resolved.
A lot of history on these walls. Keep pointing out, Daddy.
For the longest, Maurice wouldn't really acknowledge anything related to Ohio State because of the way things ended with him and for him. He wouldn't watch football games. He wouldn't really talk about it.
But then the 38-year-old Clarett received an invitation to join his national championship teammates at Ohio Stadium in the 2022 season opener. Rather than stiff-arm the past, this time he embraced it.
He can now enjoy the moment and feel that he's worth something to himself.
I once read a quote, and I always pair it with my life. They say, don't worry about getting even with the people who hurt you. Get even with the people who helped you.
Gene, thank you very much. Maurice Clarett says he's never worn his national championship ring, not out of any bad feelings toward Ohio State. Just says he doesn't need it for all of the special memories he made during that season 20 years ago. And you probably saw Maurice's longtime girlfriend, Ashley Evans, in that piece, very pregnant at the time. She has delivered the couple's third child. Clarett won't be in the shoe today. Instead, he said he's going to be on the couch teaching his family the ways of the game. Jess?
Reese, things are definitely heating up here on the field. I also am in pretty dangerous territory. I just took some pictures with some Michigan cheerleaders. Don't tell the Ohio State fans, okay? There's so much more coming up on game day. Do not move, all right? We have up next Caleb Williams and USC are in must-win mode the rest of the way if they want to make the playoff. We'll break down their game versus Notre Dame. Plus, the Wolverines have the toughness and the grit, while the Buckeyes have the flash and the speed. So who has the edge in today's Battle of Unbeatens?
The stakes are as high as they could possibly be.
At this point, it's win or go home.
Former Ohio State and Green Bay Packers linebacker A.J. Hawk is our guest picker. Will Coach Corso pick A.J.'s Bucks or surprise us all and go with the Wolverines? Also, as the guys head inside Ohio Stadium, they'll be joined by the only player to ever win 2 straight Heisman trophies, the one and only Archie Griffin. Don't go anywhere.
That's the thing about claims, you see. They don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. It doesn't just say, oh, beg pardon, sir, but is now a good time for a jolly bit of window cracking? Oh, I mean, if they did, you wouldn't need a Geico claims team that's available 24/7. Well, near as I can tell, chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, got things to do, Mr. Chestnut, so...
On a Fansville homecoming by Dr. Pepper.
Surprise! CJ, we weren't expecting you.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing here?
Hey, go State.
You replaced me with star quarterback Bryce Young?
We could never replace you.
Here's your Dr. Pepper mom. Mom?
It's just a silly nickname.
You came up with dad for me. Here you go, kid. Huh. They're my family now, CJ.
Next time on Fansville.
Hey, brother. Get out of my room!
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show them who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Sure, you can get data everywhere, but do you have to use it all the time? That's not really you. With TracFone, you can get great coverage on the most reliable 5G network in America for a lot less. Plans start at $15 a month, no contract. TracFone.
I'll be back in a sec.
We can't wait forever.
All your nacho fries, please.
Can't be mad. We got you nacho fries.
Made with Mexican spices. Made for nacho cheese sauce. Only at Taco Bell.
You've already put a parlay on this game. With the life parlay you placed to make it here. You bet you wouldn't burn breakfast. You bet your lucky jersey wouldn't shrink. And you bet on your driver's questionable detours and sense of direction. But if just one bet goes south, Football Sunday becomes Football No Fun Day. This week, all customers who place a same-game parlay on NFL games get up to $100 in free bets, win or lose. So bet on FanDuel and make every moment more.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At X-Chair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. X-Chair has done it again with our groundbreaking LMX technology, providing hours of infinite comfort no matter where in the world you're sitting. By synthesizing the universe's elements, bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience, our mission is to help you discover that every workday can happen with body and mind in an out-of-this-world place of comfort and productivity. X-Chair is charting a new course, helping workers everywhere find comfort as their work worlds zoom back and forth. Even though your work reality may continue to shift, we've got our eye on the future of work so you can focus on the present. Save up to $600 on a new X-Chair and receive a free heat and massage unit during our Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, our biggest sales event of the year. 1 week only. Go to xchair.com.
The band is making its way in to Ohio Stadium. It's part of the pageantry of this day, of this grand college football rivalry, and the shoe is starting to fill up. From our position inside now. Of course, it's overwhelmingly scarlet and gray, but in our little corner, there's some Michigan fans here, and they'll boo when Ohio State goes on the field. There's C.J. Stroud. What a great season he's had. It's on a stage like this that you can win the Heisman Trophy. DoorDash Game Day Preps count us down to kickoff inside an hour before C.J. takes the field. See what he did against Maryland. There's Travion Henderson in his jersey, as Pete Thamel reported. He's in the booth. Standout running back is not going to play today. That'll leave the load with Mayan Williams and the freshman Dallin Hayden. And there is Williams, who, according to reports, looks really good in practice this week. He is the team's leading rusher, as Henderson has struggled throughout the year with that foot injury. And running back injury, a real theme in this game. Blake Corum dressed full pads. He's going to try to give it a go. You see how well he's able to play if that knee will hold up after. In Columbus, you see how Ohio State has dominated. Really, they've dominated the rivalry as a whole. And that Michigan win last year, perhaps some Buckeyes had taken it for granted that they were going to control this rivalry for the long term. Wolverines haven't won in this stadium since 2000. You see the turnovers in the last 10 games in Columbus have been a big reason why. We are delighted to be joined by the great Archie Griffin, the only man to win 2 Heisman trophies, did it twice with Woody Hayes and the Buckeyes. Archie, great to have you with us.
Well, thank you. Good to be with you.
What is this rivalry, this game, what type of emotion does that bring back to you?
Oh, I tell you what, it brings back huge emotions. When you come to Ohio State, this is what you come for, to play Team Up North. This is what it's all about. And when Coach Hayes recruited me, he talked about this game. When Bo recruited me at Michigan, he talked about this game. So this game is huge. And those guys were fierce rivals, and they showed the team how much of a rival that they were.
Wait. So Bo recruited you?
Absolutely.
And you didn't go to Michigan? What happened?
Hey, I knew about Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
That was the problem. And
okay.
I live right here.
Oh, okay.
Arch, when you think of this week, everybody talks about you and your Heisman. When you think of Ohio State, Michigan, we have some highlights of when you played. What thoughts come to mind for you personally that week in those 4 years?
Well, the intensity of the game comes to mind. And at that time, let me tell you, it was the most physical game that I've ever played in. And we didn't have the Big Ten championship afterward.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, 2 of those games, after the Ohio State-Michigan game, I might not have been able to play in a Big Ten championship because it was just that physical, and it was I was hurting quite a bit after those games. So the physicality, the intensity, all of that came into play. And quite frankly, we prepared for Michigan all year long.
Yeah.
First practice every week during the season was geared towards Michigan. First practice.
Did Coach Hayes say that out loud? This gets you ready for Michigan?
He absolutely did.
Yeah.
He absolutely told us we're going to get ready for Michigan this week.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I can relate. We played for the Architects. I played for Bo Schembechler. And we had a schedule in our meeting room. Every game was in black letters except the Ohio State game. It was in red letters.
Red letter.
Understood. That was a red letter game, special week. He made no bones about it. This is the Buckeyes. But what people fail to realize is that there was like a competitive hate. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't hate you because we respected you.
Right.
And we understood that you were going to bring the best out of us. And I think you guys felt the same way, just like Ali and Frazier.
Yeah, 100%.
Every year.
It wasn't nasty.
No, it wasn't.
It was respect.
And I'm still great friends with like guys like Raymond Harris.
Yeah, you just saw Eddie George.
Eddie George.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jackson, who was a hooper. Yeah, so it was always that respect factor. So that's why I loved about it.
Yeah.
We brought the best out of each other. When it was all done.
Yeah,
we need each other to be that rival. And Woody and Bo,
that's right.
They were the ultimate.
They created. They took it to another level.
They did. They really
sure
did. And people don't realize they were best of friends.
Right.
They were best of friends, but they were fierce rivals and wanted to win this game.
More than anything.
More than anything.
That game in 2006, Ohio State offered to postpone the game because it occurred the day after Bo Schembechler's passing, evidence of the great respect between the two. Archie, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you for spending time with us.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Great
Thank you.
Archie Griffin.
All right, thank you.
Two-time Heisman Trophy winner. You know what? Ran into Shimmy Schembechler, Bo's son, last night, and after he told me how the game he thought the game was going to go, sounded like Bo. I was ready to run through a wall with Amazing Blue, too. Now Archie's got me all fired up for Ohio State. Archie, great to see you. Ohio State and Michigan coming up at the top of the hour. Also, immediately following College Game Day on ABC, South Carolina and Clemson. It's been a tough go for the Gamecocks, but all of a sudden resurgent after that brilliant performance against Tennessee. Shane Beamer joins us now from the field. Shane, how would you describe what that performance last week, how that impacted your team's confidence coming into this rivalry game?
It helped a lot. You know, we were confident going into the Tennessee game. As bad as we had looked the week before, we were confident going into last week. But the way we played and performed did nothing but add to that confidence. Obviously, we know we've got a huge challenge today on the road playing these guys. But our guys are confident and excited to go compete.
Hey, Shane, you've played the game, you've coached the game, you've been around a lot of big moments, big wins. What are the key ingredients to get a team back down to earth and get ready to play? I know a rivalry game helps, but any thoughts on what you've done this week to get your guys ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm all ears if you guys got any suggestions. We talked about it after the Florida game, Kirk, in the locker room, that over the next 2 weeks, meaning Tennessee and Clemson, we had a chance to do something special and completely change the entire trajectory of this program. And we didn't just say 1 week, we said 2 weeks. So with our players, there's work to be done. And obviously I'm on guard about that. I thought we had a great week of practice. We saw what we can do when we play really well like we did last week. And it helps when you're playing a rivalry game. You don't have to come up with secret motivational tactics. It's pretty easy to get these guys riled up for this one.
But I would say, Shane, in the post game after Tennessee, Cam Smith assessed the adjustments that you guys, let's say, dropped at halftime. Are you going to let Cam do the pregame talk, or are you just going to take his motif and run with it?
Well, I may or may not have shown that video to the team last night, making sure they understood that we need to do that again today. And when you're on the road, like this, you ain't gonna tiptoe into this one. We better come in here with confidence and a great edge about ourselves.
Shane, wish you luck, my friend. Congratulations on the season you had and the great win last week, and look forward to watching your team against Clemson this afternoon.
Thanks, guys. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Go Gamecocks.
Likewise, that is Shane Beamer, head coach of South Carolina. Really got it going in the right direction. Noon Eastern time on ESPN2. Neil Brown still a bit embattled there, Pat.
Still battling there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Lost the AD a week ago. Neil Brown.
Still
I don't know what the future looks like, but West Virginia's going to battle today. That's for sure.
All right. There you go.
Your
Mountaineers. Future is not good.
All right, DoorDash counting us down to kickoff. The game's going to be on ESPN2 as they play out the string there. Look for bowl positioning. Wolverines and Buckeyes, strength on strength in this Big Ten showdown coming up. A.J. Hawk will be our celebrity guest picker. LC with the mascot. Oh, would he go winged right here in front of everybody in Brutus Land?
Come be a part of the world's most magical celebration, now through March. A once-in-a-lifetime moment filled with once-in-a-lifetime magic. And all that's missing is you. Join us now for the Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary Celebration. Only through March 31st, 2023. Stay in the magic of the celebration before it's gone. Save up to $400 on a 4-night, 4-day room and ticket package at select Disney Resort hotels.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, Coach! Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
I'm a Vegas hotel. I know what you're thinking. It's cool. I don't want anything long-term either. Just a few nights of fun. I'm looking for someone who will let loose, dress up a little, see a show, order the steak and the lobster. Some people say I'm excessive, but who cares? I just want to enjoy some late nights and some very late checkouts. Think you can keep up?
From Holiday Hills, Illinois, to Rudolph, Wisconsin. From Santa Claus, Indiana, to Snowflake, Arizona. From Garland, Texas, to North Pole, New York, and everywhere in between. We're holiday ready with fast and reliable delivery, serving every address in America. The United States Postal Service.
This Cyber Monday, save on all the gifts you need for the gifts that keep on giving. Because while they don't understand why you'd ever leave the house like this, they'll happily hold down the fort while you're gone. Save up to 50% right now at Chewy.
Kids with autism sometimes are overlooked. It makes us feel important that she sees him. Miss Joanne always has the brightest smile. She makes him feel at home.
I ask him, what is it that you need today, Joseph?
Sweet pickle, sweet extra.
We're friends, and I love him.
She talks to him directly, just making sure he's heard. It makes his day a lot easier.
If I could make him smile every day, I will.
Arch enemies. Plenty of surprises over the years. The rivalry reborn with playoff importance.
Notre Dame USC tonight on ABC.
T-minus 3 seconds for liftoff.
Command Center, be advised, we're going to need a few moments. My seatbelt's unbuckled.
Roger that, Captain.
He's open! A latch appears to be open. Please advise.
Is there a containment issue?
Touchdown! Is what we'll say when we land, Commander.
Captain, do we need to delay the launch?
Yes.
What is going on?
Everyone's watching the game with AT&T 5G.
That's too much.
It's college football. It's never too much.
Here come the Irish.
Okay, now you can start the countdown.
AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
Take a look at today's AT&T countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship. I didn't want to let this go by.
Okay.
Stetson Bennett's last game between the hedges. They win the national championship. He's going to join some elite company, one of the greatest careers in the history of the sport, and they'll salute him today on Senior Day. Look what he's done in his career from a number standpoint.
Pollock, they still don't want him benched, do they? They good with him now?
I think they're okay with him. All those big, but think about all those big-name quarterbacks at Georgia.
I know, man.
Stafford, you can go down the list. That guy right there, that little guy right there,
yeah,
could be a two-time national champion.
You know what I loved about what Kirby said this week? He said, we as coaches tried everything in the world to tell him he wasn't going to be the quarterback.
And just keeps coming.
Just keeps coming
He
back.
didn't want to tell himself.
DoorDash Game Day Prep just over a half hour away. This follows College Game Day, and the great Brock Bowers is out there.
Just a machine. I mean, he's just a machine. One of the best players in college football, easily.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yep. And the guy number 2 is Washington, not bad.
That's right, not bad.
6'7".
Darnell Washington's a huge target for them. DoorDash Game Day Preps, 44 minutes, you start to see the intensity.
Ron Moore, their O-line coach, who really, since he's been there, has taken this offensive line that to me has been a weakness for a number of years to now, we just talked about it with Taylor Lewan, it's become a strength.
Watch Blake Corum closely. He's going to try to give it a go with his right knee. Now, Harbaugh has said this is a meeting of superheroes, so Michigan would be the Wolverine. Superhuman strength, the claws, indestructible skeleton, which is what Corum needs today.
Touchdown Wolverines. That is what you call bully football.
They're a complete offense, and they challenge you in a lot of different ways. It's difficult to simulate the way that they run the ball.
I think our offensive line is really just shored up from last year, added some more pieces. Anytime you got a quarterback who can use his legs, it definitely adds another challenge.
You have to have some different things that you can go to at different times to try to keep the offense off balance.
Understand that they usually have this type of talent on this side of the rock, especially in the throwing game.
Lost to the pylon. Harrison's got it. Touchdown.
You know, he's strong. He has very strong hands. He runs routes really well. Could be a Heisman type of receiver.
When the defense doesn't know what we're doing, and we can, do both run the ball and throw the ball, high efficiency. I think that's going to be the key for us.
Let's clean up briefly the brace that Blake Corum had his knee on his knee was his left side at any rate. Waiting to see if he's healthy enough, explosive enough, because he's been terrific. Mayan Williams going to carry the load for Ohio State today with Travion Henderson out. It's either before contact in that offensive line that Kirk was talking about, and after contact that the Buckeyes running game is needed. And here come the Buckeyes. C.J. Stroud faced relentless pressure last year, didn't have his best day, comes in here with a ton of weapons.
Yeah, Bear just made a comment. I agree that the weather here today, you're not used to seeing 50s and sunny, no wind. Last year, the wind definitely impacted C.J. Stroud early in that game and affected their passing game, even though he went on to throw for a number of yards once they got behind. But early in that game, I think it took a toll. Today, perfect conditions to spin it.
Beautiful conditions.
Yeah.
And
excellent football.
I don't see Hutchinson and Ajabo over there on that other side either that absolutely terrorized that Buckeye line. So that pass game is going to have to be big for Ohio State. It's what they do. It's what they do that's unique. Is they've got great balance. And they've got great weapons.
Well, I think today it's not just about C.J. Stroud. To me, it's about the offensive line and C.J. Stroud identifying single high versus two high safety looks. You see a two high safety look, they're going to have to be able to run the ball. They've worked 364 days out of the year to improve the line of scrimmage and their ability to control Michigan up front.
That's the key. That's the key.
Everybody wants to talk about Stroud.
That's the key.
It's the line of scrimmage, and can they do what Michigan did last year?
They cannot afford to be one-dimensional.
one-dimensional. Now it gives Jesse Minter and his defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and you know, I think the big thing is when you look for CJ, he's going to look at those safeties. If he sees too high, you got to run the ball, and you got to get that double team to climb up to that middle linebacker and be able to get a hat on number 25. He's the key, Junior Colson. They go one high. If they disguise, now you've got the matchups in this weather that they'll try to expose. Watch out for Marvin Harrison. If he gets isolated, if they take Marvin Harrison away with that middle field safety, then you got to find another guy. In this case, it's Emeka Buka, number 2, who gets isolated one-on-one. Can the Michigan corners, with a single high safety look, can they hold up one-on-one against Stroud and those wide receivers? But as Des and I keep saying, it starts with their ability to run the football with Mayan Williams, if he can go, and Dallin Hayden, the true freshman.
The same could be said for Michigan as well in terms of being physical in that offensive line.
Absolutely. I mean, Michigan's brand of football right now is physicality. They want to pound the rock. They want to run the ball 30, 40 points, 30 or 40 times a game, and then make you submit late into the second half. When you look at these guys, I'll tell you what, man. Edwards, Corum. This is going to be a reverse. This is against Iowa, one of the best defenses in the Big Ten, right? They're going to make it like outside zone. It's a reverse to Ronnie Bell. The tight end, he loops back around. He becomes the lead blocker for Ronnie Bell. Everyone do a tremendous job. But look at number 76, Ryan Hayes. He takes Jack Campbell, who's 6'4", and throws him through the end zone. One of the best defensive players in all college football. Now here we go, outside zone with Donovan Edwards. You're going to pull the center and the right guard. They love pulling linemen. The right guard annihilates the cornerback on the edge. In the center, he blocks the safety, and then it's just a lane for Donovan Edwards. They love him. But everybody likes to get into the act. Watch number 2, Blake Corum right here. It's going to be a quarterback power to the left. Number 2, the running back, Blake Corum. You hear about all the carries, all the yards. Watch him on this block right here. Pancake block on the end. Everybody gets involved, even J.J. McCarthy. When you see one of the running backs break open to the on the sideline, you'll see number 9 streaking down there trying to get a block. He almost got flattened by a Nebraska defender a couple weeks ago. But everyone loves this brand of physicality. But J.J. McCarthy, he's going to have to make some throws. And like we said, the weather this is perfect football weather. No excuses today. He's going to make some throws, too.
I think he's going to make some throws because he's a young guy who has gotten a chance to rely upon an offensive run game that has been certainly dominant. Look for a play action in JJ to maybe make a big one for Michigan. Yep. Another guy you need to keep an eye on, Jake Moody, okay? The field goal kicker from Michigan, 2021 All-American, 2021 Lou Groza Award winner, and last week against Illinois, hits a field goal with 9 seconds remaining to remain in the college football playoff hunt. This dude is a mental giant. He swings well. He never lets the moment get too big for himself. He's already the reigning best kicker in the game. You would think there'd be added self-inflicted pressure. Not the case. Moody's a dog, like the rest of this Michigan team.
Get enough credit, Sharon Moore, too. He's not only the offensive line coach, but he's an offensive coordinator, too. He's done a fantastic job with the young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
You show Moody there. The red zone has not been great for Michigan. You know, the Michigan State game, the Illinois game, they've had to rely on field goals today against the Ohio State offense. You're going to think McCarthy's got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone, not settle for field goals.
One thing that impressed me about Michigan, they do not beat themselves. Nope. You got to beat them if you're going to win their game.
Old school.
Yeah. We're not penalized a lot. Don't turn the ball over a lot either. But
think about this. McCarthy last year was the wrinkle. Remember, I mean, Caden McNamara was the guy. This was a team that ran the ball and used play action. But now you got 9 back there. That QB run that you showed, the boot, the nakeds off of their run game. He's now a run threat. It's a totally different defense. And Jim Knowles, guys, I don't know if we show him, he was basically hired as a defensive coordinator for Ohio State for today. Yeah. For 100%. This game. Absolutely. So we can talk about Notre Dame. And boy, the defense did a good job in this game. Make no mistake. He brought that scheme in to defend this Michigan offense today.
He made a comment during the week that he was concerned with J.J. McCarthy's legs, too, because he can beat you with his legs. He's a dual-threat quarterback.
You also keep an eye on Donovan Edwards today, especially if Corum can't go. He might be wearing some type of protective device on a banged-up hand. Ball security will be of a major importance in this game, too. Everybody's going to make the pick soon. Pollock, you get to make yours right now. Who wins the game, Ohio State or Michigan?
You know, it's crazy. I got a crazy stat for you. I got 2. Last year, Michigan had 197 yards rushing before contact.
Yeah.
Before. Ohio State had 7. The last 20 matchups in this game, whoever runs the football for the most yards wins the ball game.
Wow.
If Blake Corum was healthy, I think that would be Michigan. But because they're banged up in the backfield, because this weather is absolutely gorgeous, because Michigan punched them in the face last year, like right in the nose where their nose was bleeding.
Right in front of everybody.
Because of that, because they got that nose up, I think Ohio State gets some revenge today.
Okay.
All right. They waited a year for it. It's driven the program. Ryan Day famously said last year, after an 11-win season, a Rose Bowl championship, not really a true success because you got to beat your rival, you got to win the conference, you got to get in the playoff, try to win a title. DoorDash. Clemson today kicking off in just under 21 minutes on ABC. DJ Uiagalelei. Rough spot mid-season, has really been able to pick it back up. Can he win the rivalry game today as we greet Jess Sims and our celebrity guest picker?
All right, Reese. So I'm here with A.J. Hawk, who just so happens to be a two-time All-American, national champion, Super Bowl champion, and I quote, "My whole life, all I was trying to do was find a way to get a scholarship offer from Ohio State. I was going to commit on the spot." Why was this such a big deal to you?
Well, I mean, I'm an Ohio kid. I grew up in Centerville, Ohio, not too far from here, and that's what you do. If you're an Ohio kid, I think you want to play football at Ohio State, and I was definitely one of those. And when Jim Tressel offered me, I tried to shake his hand and commit right then. So it was a great decision, and I'm really glad I did it.
Yeah, and clearly no regrets. And so while you were here, you were 3-1 against Michigan. So what do you think is going through these guys' minds as they approach this rivalry today?
I tell you what, walking down the tunnel and seeing both teams, like there's an electricity in the air. Like there's something going on here. Like you can feel it. It's a big game. I think there may be some nerves from some guys, but I think most people are just anxious, just ready to get this thing going. They just want to get out there and get that first hit under your belt and then keep it moving. And I think we're about to see some action today. It's going to be fun.
Yes, it is. Speaking of fun and being anxious, go ahead and make those picks. The guys are waiting for you up at the desk. Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Jess, thank you, AJ. We will see you in a matter of moments. The whole headgear phenomenon, a staple in the landscape of college football, started with Brutus. LC choosing Brutus the first time with an assist from the great Allie Herbstreit as well. Could it be that LC goes with his friend again? And have a look at this, what we've got, a gift from Brutus.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty nice. Nice. Look at that. Well, that's pretty nice. A little politicking going on there.
Yeah, he's trying to persuade Coach to go. That's really cool, LC.
Nice.
Picks coming up when you come back.
Merry Christmas.
It was a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a we bring out the tools you really do need, and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Ah, the fresh scent of delivering love in the morning. Plus the extra cash for Drew here doesn't smell bad either. Who knew heartbreak could be whoever you are out there, and it sees you.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, low, just $6.99. Enough. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
Sure, you can get data everywhere, but do you have to use it all the time? That's not really you. With TracFone, you can get great coverage on the most reliable 5G network in America for a lot less. Plans start at $15 a month, no contract. TracFone.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except for this mouse. Decorations were hung with meticulous care. That is until I gave this lady a scare.
A holiday lesson we all could learn. Protect your home with Allstate, or your wallet could get burned. Carl! And to all a good night.
Eat, play, eat, play, eat, play. David,
combo is back. Get an entree and a game card starting at $19.99. Now through November 27th, only at Dave & Buster's.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest.
Cheez-It,
official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Oilers.
McDavid, they'll take it to the net.
Wild.
Handed it back. Kaprizov scores.
A battle of superstars.
That is hockey.
Thursday on ESPN+.
It's a beautiful time for basketball, where freaks challenge kings and dynasties old and new collide. Lakers, Bucks, and a special alt-cast with Stephen A., part of a doubleheader, Friday on ESPN.
New Subway Series menu, the greatest sandwich roster ever assembled.
For more on the new boss, here's Patrick Mahomes.
Incredible. Meatballs, fresh mozzarella, and pepperoni.
Oh, the meatball's out. I thought he never fumbles. The new Subway Series. What's your pick?
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot, celebrating 20 seasons of building College Game Day. And in part by DoorDash. Support local businesses, dashers, and your neighborhood, one order at a time. And Cheez-It. Cheesy, crunchy satisfaction.
Harbaugh waiting on his superheroes there. There's the Ohio State defensive huddle.
Yeah, like we said earlier, this is going to be an interesting day for a defense that got embarrassed last year in Ann Arbor to see how much they've improved if they have, especially up front at the line of scrimmage.
Jim Knowles going to try to get him fired up. The erudite, scholarly defensive coordinator, and they're bringing some attitude. That's how our celebrity guest picker standings look. How about that? Nick saying if he could just play 2 more holes, he might have been able to tie Christian Wilkins.
He'd have won if he wore gloves.
Not just about the delivery, it's about the results.
That's right. Great to have AJ. Great to have AJ Hawk with us, our celebrity guest picker, Ohio State legend here. AJ, you ready to do this?
He's an elk right here.
Oh, yeah. This is
Centerville
awesome.
Elk. Centerville Elk.
Centerville Elk. That's right. Elk Pride, Kirk.
That's it, baby.
All comes together. It all works together. Let's take a look at our Saturday selections brought to you by Coors Light. We're going to start with the old Oaken Bucket, Purdue and Indiana. Purdue wins. They will go to the Big Ten championship game and play the winner of this game. Who wins it?
I got to give Indiana a lot of credit. 7 straight losses and then played the way they played against Michigan State last week, winning in double overtime, took advantage of some Michigan State miscues, but Purdue, they're not going to have those miscues. Boiler up. I'm going Boiler makers.
Okay, the old Oaken Bucket is certainly possibly heading home with the boiler up, folks, but I like Indiana. They're my super dog. They won a game last week with just having 2 completions. This is the only thing really Indiana can have in the offseason that is a sense of pride around the state of Indiana. Give me IU. Hoosiers, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm going to have to go against you, Pat, on this one. Des, I'm with you. I think Purdue is too explosive offensively. Put the ball in the air. Let's get some points on the board. Indiana's going to need a little more than 2 completions for this one.
Well, not so fast. Wait, the first one out of there. IU, Purdue, you got to be kidding me. Indiana wins the bucket and runs well.
Not so fast, my friend, to you. I'm going with Des and AJ. I mean, somebody's got to win the Big Ten West, and Purdue, it's right in front of them. Yeah. They're 4 quarters away from securing that spot. I think they win today.
LC won the bucket and slept with it that night.
He did.
Indiana.
Now,
Minnesota.
Big spoon that thing? We big spoon it? Yeah, you did.
Minnesota and Wisconsin could tie for the division, but they can't win the tiebreaker and go to the championship game. But who wins the battle between them for the Axe?
Very easy. I like Minnesota. Their offense is top 10 in the nation running the football, and Wisconsin turns the ball over way too much. So I got Minnesota big.
Okay, I hate to do this because, Des, you're much smarter than I am, much better dressed than I am, and everything else like that. Give me Wisconsin at home, though. I like Whiskey to do their thing. I think Minnesota's an interesting team. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. Today, Wisconsin gets a big win at home.
Yeah. I played their Camp Randall. It's super loud. That place will be rocking. I like Wisconsin here.
Great pick. Camp Randall's a great place to play. Wisconsin at home.
Jump around, the whole thing. Bear just told me some news that Braylon Allen looks like he might not be able to go, which would probably impact all.
Looks pretty good, huh?
Which would probably impact all of us. I think I gave Wisconsin, but I'm really nervous about that pick after Bear's bit of news.
Go Wisconsin.
And the other bit of news, there's been some talk about his potential transfer as Wisconsin waits and sees what they're going to do with their coaching situation. South Carolina and Clemson.
Wow, South Carolina come off a huge win a week. Do we really expect Spencer Rattler to play like that again? I don't, especially now on the road. I'm going Clemson.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler threw 6 touchdowns last week. He has 14 on the season. So if he can continue that type of pace to finish it out, that'd be great news for South Carolina. South Carolina gives up a lot of rush yards, okay? The front, the defensive front, not great. DJ Uyunglele ran for 89 last week. Will Shipley might run for 200. Give me Clemson over South Carolina.
Yeah, Pat hit it. Will Shipley right there. I think Will Shipley finds a way. Ground and pound. Here we go. I like Clemson.
Clemson rushes the passer as soon as he gets off the bus. And they are going to smother that guy.
The best thing that happened to Dabo Swinney was Spencer Rattler playing the way he did last week against Tennessee, because that got the attention of the defensive line, the secondary. It's in Death Valley. It's a rivalry game. The Orange Britches are out. I like Clemson today as well.
Auburn and Alabama. News broke during the show. Lane Kiffin not going to take the Auburn job. Likely to be Hugh Freeze. Today, it's Cadillac Williams. Can Auburn upset Alabama?
No chance. No chance. I got Alabama big over Auburn today.
Yeah, college football makes no sense at all. So Auburn winning in Alabama would certainly be part of it.
Come on, do it.
Absolutely not. Roll Tide.
I have a tough time picking against Nixon. Alabama finds a way. Auburn, I think, can give them a game, no question, but I do like Alabama in the end.
Great point. Great. Auburn does keep it close. They do. Keep it close. Alabama.
I think Cadillac, what you guys are saying, the emotion of a rivalry, early part of the game, and then it's just Alabama. They make the adjustments and just too good.
TCU, one of the unbeaten teams. Iowa State plays a lot of close games. They end up losing them all. The Cyclones pull the upset.
Not a chance. I like TCU. TCU just might be a team of destiny. I mean, what they did last week, rushing the field goal, team onto the field to win the last seconds. Great coaching. They believe in everything that their coaches tell them. I'm going TCU Horned Frogs.
Yeah, Max Duggan's a guy. Kendra Miller's a guy. Sonny apparently is an incredible coach. Got everybody bought in. Give me TCU to make things interesting for the college football playoff as they continue to roll.
Yeah, I don't know how I can't really pick against TCU here. I like what they're doing. Iowa State, I'm a fan of the team. I just don't think they can get a win today.
TCU is a team of destiny. They win this week, but they'll lose next week.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Didn't fall.
Hey, the drum major just coming through. Hold on a second.
Good. His name is Avery Voris. He was also in Kirk's Greatest Story Ever Played commercial.
Yeah.
Is he going to touch that thing? No, he's not. Is he like Gumby?
We got it.
Is he like Gumby?
That's impressive.
Now, here we go.
Man, you guys are winning.
All right, back to TCU real quick. Camera slider on over here. Bring it back over, Dish. TCU, the reason is this is going to be the picture that we're going to get on social media. This is going to potentially be the one. Iowa State has the best defense in the Big 12. Yep. This is going to be another TCU miracle late, or they get beat today.
TCU is going to the Big 12 title game no matter what, but Kansas State has to beat Kansas or Texas goes. Who wins, K-State or Kansas?
Will Howard is a difference maker of this Kansas State offense. You pair him with Deuce Vaughn, and I'll tell you what, you got one of the best backfields in the conference. I'm going Kansas State.
Yeah, I like Kansas State as well. Adrian Martinez was doing his thing, and then Will Howard comes in. He's a guy. I like Kansas State a lot. Congrats on going to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, too much on the line. Big 12 championship. They get it done. Like Dan said, they got a backfield that is pretty formidable. So Kansas State, no question for me.
Kansas State wins this week and next week.
Okay, all right. Early prediction.
Wow, he's trying to get his USC team in there. That's what he's up to. You got to know, there's always a motive. I'm going with Kansas State, too, and I'm nervous of this one, too. I got Kansas State.
When Kansas State's been good, they have blown people out there at home, and they've won 13 in a row against Kansas. Apple Cup, Washington and Washington State.
I don't think the Cougars can go toe-to-toe with Washington. The Huskies offense is too dynamic with Michael Penix Jr. at the quarterback position. I'm going Huskies.
This one was on Bears' board. It was close to being on Bears' board about the weather being problematic for Penix. I don't agree with that. Give me Washington. The Huskies get a big win in the Apple Cup.
I hate to do it. I'm agreeing again with both of you guys. I got the Huskies here.
No.
I don't like
hate to be right.
We're agreeing on way too many things, but I have the Huskies here as well. What about you, Coach?
Washington State.
Thank you.
So you got the Cougs. It's a big deal. He doesn't know. I'm going to Washington. Penix, close game. They win late.
That's 10:30 tonight on ESPN to wrap up your college football Saturday. Oregon has to win on the road. Oregon State, where Oregon State's won 10 of 11 overall at home. Who wins this game?
I tell you what, just so impressed with Bo Nix a week ago against Utah, playing out there on one leg. You know, that really inspired his teammates on the road. They're going to win a close one against Oregon State. Go Ducks.
I enjoyed the hell out of our time up there in Eugene, Oregon. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And I got a chance to chat with some of the locals. And I said, who do we hate here? Do we hate Oregon State? And they said, no, we hate Washington. Washington beat them. Oregon State, you ask them who they hate. They hate Oregon. Give me Oregon State in a massive win to kind of mess up everything in the Pac-12.
I like what Oregon State can do, but I think all great teams are run through a quarterback, and I think Bo Nix is that guy for Oregon, so I'm taking Oregon here. Sorry to go against you, Bo.
Nice. Sorry about it.
Whoops.
Oregon State, just as Reese said, they've won 10 of the last 11 at home. Games at home, right? Oregon State.
And you got to love Oregon State's style. You know, they get into 2, 3 tight ends, possess the ball, play great defense. Jonathan Smith, where this team was, where he was 5 years ago to today, incredible. But I still like Bo Nix because of the speed, and Dan Lanning's done a great job changing that culture.
And remember, for the other team in the Pac-12 championship game, it'll be a combination of this game, Utah, which should win its game, and then the Apple Cup as well. USC is in the Pac-12 championship game. Kirk's going to call the game no pick here. Who wins, Trojans or Fighting Irish?
And I tell you what, I'm so excited about this game. Looking at what Notre Dame has done lately defensively, I think they're going to cause some problems. Williams, but Caleb Williams is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. A lot of you guys may not see him because they play on the West Coast, but he's a dual threat quarterback that can sling it over the field. I'm going Trojans in the close one.
And Notre Dame has won 5 straight, and they've done it with running the rock, and that is certainly the recipe to keep the USC offense off the field. I think today is another day for the USC defense to show up. Everybody says they make splash plays, they're turnover bound or whatever. They can't stop anybody. Today, USC gets a big win and cements themselves in the conversation on the college football playoffs.
Man, I would love to. A lot of ties to Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman, James Laurinaitis there. I played with both those guys. Unbelievable. My brother-in-law was a quarterback there. With that being said, I have to take USC on this one. I don't know if the old Notre Dame kind of trestle ball grinded out is going to be enough to beat USC.
Caleb Williams wins the Heisman. Wins it today.
Okay. There you go.
USC. That's my story.
I'll be there.
Absolutely.
I'll be there to see it in person. Can't wait.
That's right. 7:30 Eastern time tonight on ABC. And then
he's dotting the I. He's dotting the I.
This showdown. Now this is Avery Voris, who's about to come out and dot the I in Script, Ohio.
That's great timing.
That's right.
Perfect.
It's the 4th or 5th
That's what we do.
Very professional show.
Way to go.
He said there would be some nerves in this.
Yeah.
Quite an honor. Because it's always a 4th or 5th year sousaphone player. Rare exceptions. Others have been allowed to dot the I, like John Glenn. Jack Nicklaus has done so. Earl Bruce as well. There's such a rich history, and this is such a be-all, end-all feel to this game, and that could be going away as divisions dissolve and the playoff expands. Maybe your bragging rights only last a week instead of an entire year. But for today, this game means everything.
Get it. It's easy to understand how much this means to so many people. For 365 days out of the year, it really comes down to how you play in this game.
It's the kind of situation that gives you the opportunity to display how strong our team is.
Either team doesn't win this game, I mean, what does their season really mean at this point? It's whoever goes to the Big Ten championship, whoever has a chance to go to the playoffs.
And he's all yours. Perfect.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
We're all very excited about this meet.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. It's great news. You're mine. You're coming home with me. Yeah.
We all know how special these animals are here, but it's such a nice feeling when they're appreciated by other people. You just know that they're going to be well looked after and loved.
How do you feel when you let them go from here?
It's a hard thing, especially when they've spent a bit of time with us. It's never easy to say goodbye. You know, every morning I come in, I turn the lights on, and he's chirping at me and asking for food. So it's always good but sad.
You'll be a happy cat.
He will. He's going to be a very happy cat. It's amazing that they leave and we can take on more animals. It's why we do what we do. But it doesn't make it any less sad when they leave.
You doing all right, Timmy?
And now, it's time to go home.
Hi, I'm Jeff Corwin, and we are traveling across Wild America on my brand new television series, Wildlife Nation, part of Weekend Adventure.
Sherry has a good time, all the time. That last, my knee went, And you know we're always laughing. Oh my God!
Sherry, weekdays at 10 on
Toyota-thon is on. Now's the time to get an exciting new Toyota. Like Camry Hybrid, RAV4, Tundra, and more. How did you... Magic.
Get 3.49% APR financing for a full 48 months on the fuel-efficient RAV4. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost service plan.
Come in today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
This is ESPN on ABC.
Death Valley is rocking today as Clemson plays host to its in-state rival, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Dabo Swinney and the Tigers need a win today to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. Their chances buoyed by Spencer Rattler and the Gamecocks last Saturday in their history-making performance against Tennessee.
Tennessee's looking at it like, let's keep winning football games. Everything will take care of itself. But you're on the road in the SEC. It's always a challenge.
Rattler steps up. It's caught. Touchdown, South Carolina. Rattler, long throw. End zone. Caught. Are you kidding me? They are putting a thumping on the fifth-ranked Vols.
I've been telling people we got a good football team, and we're just getting started here at Carolina.
And welcome, everyone, to Clemson, South Carolina on a glorious day in the upstate of South Carolina. It's the ACC on ESPN. It also involves the SEC. And welcome to college football on ABC, presented by Arby's. Sean McDonough and Todd Blackledge, delighted to have you with us as this great rivalry is renewed. It's an important game for both teams. Clemson is 10-1. They've won 16 out of 17 back to last year. And yet, Todd, just number 8 in the college football rankings that came out, college football playoff rankings that came out this week. Must-win situation, but there's still a path to the Final Four.
Absolutely, there's a path. I mean, all they can focus on is taking care of their own business. Win the last 2, finish 12-1 as a conference champion, and hope for some help with the teams in front of them. A lot can happen in the last 2 weeks. This Clemson team may not be as flashy as others we've seen, but they win, and they've found different ways to win all year.
And they got help from their rivals from South Carolina last Saturday. They knocked number 5 Tennessee out of the picture. An unbelievable win. We'll get into that as we go along. And Shane Beamer, their coach, said to his team after that win, now you really have a chance to change the narrative of this program and the trajectory for Gamecock football going forward.
Yeah, the big question, can they do it 2 weeks in a row? They're going to need a similar performance from their quarterback, Spencer Rattler. He's got to stay hot against a great defensive front that's going to pressure him. And then defensively, I think they've got to really sell out against the run and trust their corners on islands in the passing game for Clemson.
Clemson has won the last 7 head-to-head in this rivalry. That is the longest streak for either team. Dabo Swinney and the Tigers arrive trying to win their 41st straight home game. We'll have the opening kickoff right after this.
Christmas trees try so hard. Lights and ornaments and little choo-choo trains, come on. The best trees, they kind of only need 2 things. Peanut butter and chocolate. Not sorry, Reese's.
This season, the Home Depot is helping every fan out-fan themselves.
Fans like the ultimate entertainers. Nice move.
And then you have your true diehards.
Nice work. The all-out competitors. And of course, the absolute fanatics.
This season, go all out.
Gear up with Behr Premium Plus Interior Paint from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Oh, that's my piece of the shakaroni. That's the biggest one we make.
They've donated $1 from every shakaroni to the Papa John's Foundation.
Dang, that's huge. If the hoop was as big as that pizza, maybe you'd have made some of your free throws. Somebody save me a slice. Where'd he come from?
This Christmas, Mickey and his friends team up with Santa.
Santa Claus is in trouble.
We've got to help them. Go, Mickey! Mickey Saves Christmas.
At the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you can make maintenance cost worries so last year. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 Tiguan for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. So, this Black Friday, choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, thousands of vehicles are arriving daily. Just
Her back, and it's actually coming from their feet.
Her suggestion?
It's as easy as going into a Good Feet store.
Come in for your free arch support fitting.
Toyotathon is on. It's the most magical time of the year with great deals on Camry, RAV4, and Tundra. Where's the Tundra?
Fields borrowed it.
What?
Keep them coming!
Get 3.49% APR financing for a full 48 months on the fun to drive Tacoma. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost service plan.
'Tis the season for Toyotathon.
Toyota, let's go places.
Turning high-tech trash into technological treasure.
We'll take it no matter what it is.
How this special group is giving new life to old computers and helping local kids connect with their classmates.
I really appreciate it.
Wednesday at 6 on News 10 ABC.
At the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you can make maintenance cost worries so last year. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 Tiguan for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing.
Chief Meteorologist Steve Caparizzo, only on News 10 ABC.
This is the Palmetto Bowl, the battle for the unofficial state championship in South Carolina. Bragging rights on the line in a small state where either you're for Clemson or you're for South Carolina. 119th meeting dating back to 1896. And down on on the field. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Sean, South Carolina wide receiver DeCarrion Joyner said this isn't just a rivalry game, it's a revenge game because they haven't beaten Clemson in 9 years. Now, Joyner's a South Carolina native. He has this game circled on his calendar every single year, and he said this year he's determined to prove that their team should not be overlooked, and last week's win over Tennessee was not a fluke. Now, this team knows well that Clemson could lose their playoff chances if they lose this game, and they're determined to play spoiler. Players telling me they would love to knock off the second straight team in a row out of the playoffs.
E.T. Potter, the touchback, as is his custom. South Carolina won the toss. Shane Beamer elected to get the offense right out there after they put 63 on the balls in Columbia last Saturday, led by Spencer Rattler, who threw for a career-high 438, fourth highest total in South Carolina history. And he's the first quarterback in Gamecock history to throw 6, count them, 6 touchdown passes. Heading into that game, he had thrown 8 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions for the year and was averaging 198 per game passing. He comes out slinging on first down, a low throw and a catch made for a 3-yard gain by Jalen Brooks. Rattler, of course, the transfer from Oklahoma. 7-4. He started every game this year for Carolina after he went 15-2 in 17 starts for the Sooners. What a difference last week compared to the first 10.
Well, they got off to a good start last week, and it's important for him to get off to one here on the road against this Clemson front.
They came out aggressively. His pass incomplete. He was trying to get it to Brooks again, who got tangled up with the defender. They set the tone early last week on offense, aggressive game plan.
Yep.
And they went for it on a couple of fourth downs early in the game. And Rattler had a nice pocket all night long. Wes Goodwin, the defensive coordinator, will be matching wits with Marcus Satterfield of South Carolina, said the game plan today, rattle Rattler.
Well, and on 3rd and long is when Clemson is at their best. They were 8 for 11 last week on 3rd down, South Carolina, but they had very manageable distances to go.
Given time, zings it, but short of the first down. Austin Stogner, who also transferred from Oklahoma in his first year with Shane Beamer and South Carolina. Well, we'll see. Is he going to be aggressive early in the game and go for it on his own 34? No, he will not.
It's 4th down. They're going to punt. And interestingly, Clemson's just keeping their defense on the field because of the respect for Shane Beamer, the special teams, the possibility of feint punts. Just a safe punt by the Clemson defense. Don't want to give up any trick play here.
Their special teams are the best in the country. South Carolina's. Ty Kroger, their punter, has thrown 3 passes this year. He bombs a punt. Antonio Williams back inside the 10 to field it, hoping for some blocks. And he will run out of bounds. And there's a very late flag thrown. Ball spotted at the 13, but there is a penalty. The referee is Matt Leffler, leading a Southeastern Conference crew in this non-conference game, the traditional season finale, the regular season, where these two schools separated by about 2.5 hours.
That was a great punt and excellent coverage. I talked to Pete Lembo on the field before the game. He was very concerned about their 2 return guys, Antonio Williams on punt and Will Shipley on kickoffs.
Personal foul, blindside block on the return team. That's penalty, it's half the distance, first down.
I think it was Miles Murphy who actually, first of all, he avoided a block. Number 98, nope, there it is. I was wrong. It was Tyler Davis, number 13, who got called for the blindside block. Murphy did a nice job avoiding an illegal block, and Tyler Davis got called for that. You know, when you're that big and powerful, you don't have to hit a guy very hard to knock him on the ground, but that's a safety rule penalty.
59-yard punt, and then the penalty brings the ball back to the 6 for DJ Uiagalelei, just across the 6-yard line. He takes off running. That was a big part of their attack last week against Miami, when he carried a career high 17 times for a career-high 89 yards in their win against the Hurricanes. 2 weeks ago against Louisville, he carried 15 times.
I think at this point in the season, when everything's on the line, you will run your quarterback more, and DJ has responded.
Carry was for 18. Now Will Shipley, their leading rusher, needs 40 today to reach 1,000 for the season. Tackled by Tonka Hemingway. Uyunglele from Southern California threw for 227. Big and strong and about 30 pounds lighter than last year, 235. As you saw in those highlights, an elusive runner for a big man. His pass off the hands of their leading receiver, Antonio Williams, the 18-year-old freshman with Marcellus Dial in coverage.
One of the reasons that quarterback run was effective the first play is because this South Carolina defense is going to play a lot of man coverage. There was motion by a receiver, and Cam Smith went in motion. And take a look at Clayton White, the defensive coordinator. He is going to sell out to stop this Clemson run on early downs and force the game into DJ's hands.
Shipley, the running back. Uyunglele, the quick throw, and almost intercepted. It hit the defender, Darius Rush, right in his hands, the fifth-year senior who has never won against the Clemson Tigers.
It's a quick throw. It's out of the hands quickly, but South Carolina read it beautifully. I mean, Darius Rush used to be a wide receiver. You think he'd make that catch.
That's why he's a defensive back.
Yep, maybe it was a good switch, but he was in perfect position. But they still get the punt early.
Aiden Swanson, the punter. No breeze at all at the start of this game. Not a good kick. Big advantage for South Carolina today in punting. They're 8th in the country in net punting. Clemson's 107th. We've already seen that, with each team having punted once. Dabo Swinney fired up and ready to go in a very important game for both teams.
COVID-19. Some people get it, and some people can get it bad. And for those who do get it bad, it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, asthma, or smoking. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, don't wait. Ask your healthcare provider right away if an authorized oral treatment is right for you.
Oh yeah, we need these, no? You know what we do need?
Topped with everything.
We absolutely needed these.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 7-layer Nacho Fries.
I remember you saying, I won't forget the life jackets.
Who talks like that?
You apparently.
Can we watch the replay?
I would love it.
This What Really Happened replay is brought to you by Progressive. One thing no one would challenge, protecting your home and auto with Progressive.
Wow, that is embarrassing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Roy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working.
Never not working. Never ever not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield, never not working.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Isn't it great that T-Mobile's network is powerful enough to bring high-speed home internet across the country? Pay attention. T-Mobile home internet is just $50 a month.
Focus.
Just $50 a month. No price hikes, no monthly fees.
Here is CVS Health, where they're working to eliminate the pink tax to ensure we don't pay more than men for the same thing. Because women's razors are just razors. Here, healthier happens together.
Domino's online carryout deal includes all your favorites for just $7.99 each. So let's play a word association game. Dips and twists.
$7.99.
8-piece wings.
$7.99.
Large one-topping pizzas.
$7.99.
The only place to get this deal.
Domino's.
It's nothing.
Sounds like something.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, unsystemic diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol coats and soothes for fast relief when you need it most.
Dance
into the holiday season.
With a little Disney magic.
With special performances by Run DMC, Meghan Trainor, Black Eyed Peas, Neo, and more.
Let's go!
Disney's magical holiday celebration, Sunday on ABC.
The view from the AT&T 5G Skycam. Glorious late November day here, 64 degrees. Earlier in the week, the forecast was for a rainy day here in the upstate. Second possession for South Carolina. And Marshawn Lloyd on the field. And running back on the right hip and now to the left of Spencer Rattler. Quick throw, intercepted. Jeremiah Trotter heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. Second interception of the year for Trotter. Part of an outstanding linebacker group for Clemson. He returned it 35 yards for the score. Their first non-offensive touchdown of the season, and now B.T. Potter to add the extra point. It's 7-0 Tigers.
I think Clemson fooled Spencer Rattler. Here's Trotter. When they put the back in motion, the defense moves, and I think Spencer thought Trotter would go in man coverage, but he didn't. He hung right in the throwing lane and picked off the throw. Typically, you think that linebacker's going to go with the back. He didn't go all the way with the back. He read the eyes of the quarterback, stepped right in front of the intended receiver, Nate Atkins, and turned it into a touchdown. Beautiful play, instinctive play by Jeremiah Trotter, who has really played well over the last 3 or 4 ball games.
As has the defense. He's the son of Jeremiah Trotter Sr., all-pro in the NFL with Philadelphia, among others.
Spencer Rattler threw 7 interceptions in his first 6 games, only 1 in the last 5, but that one was a costly one.
Well, Wes Goodwin said, rattle Rattler. That was the focus this week. They confused him, and the defense has a score. Xavier Legette brings the kickoff back, just shy of the 25. Here's Kevin Nagandi.
Good afternoon, Sean. Time now for our Mayhem Moment, brought to you by Allstate. And Dan, 36.5-point underdogs. Georgia Tech going for it on 4th and 9.
4th and 9, but you get man coverage, and they pick the number 2 receiver who gets the nickel back on him.
And then number 17 going in, Pumachan.
Yeah, outside. Georgia lost contain.
First time Georgia's given up a touchdown in the first quarter, Sean. Back to you.
Well, Georgia Tech off a win last week at North Carolina. There's Marshawn Lloyd, who missed each of the last 3 games, Mike.
Well, Shane Beamer said he knew Wednesday that Lloyd would be able to contribute significantly in this game. They're hoping for 25 to 30 plays out of him today, but he said you'll use him as much as they need to, and will call a good amount of plays from early to get him into a rhythm. And Beamer said Lloyd's physicality sets the tone for their entire offense, both running and in pass protection, and they need that physicality against this front 7.
He's been out with a deep thigh bruise. They'll also get Christian Beal-Smith back today. He's missed a lot of the year, including the last 2 games with foot and ankle problems. After the loss, Rattler's in trouble, and he just throws it away. Barrett Carter was the blitzing linebacker. Dabo Swinney said we're going to make Spencer Rattler uncomfortable. He clearly is uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, and it's just a 5-man protection, and Clemson brought more guys than could be picked up. They tried to get everybody out on the pass route. It was immediate pressure, and Rattler did the right thing, getting rid of the football. But another 3rd down and long play against this Clemson defense.
A.J. Henry brought the pressure, playing at his final home game. These Clemson players, nobody on this Clemson team has ever lost a game at home. They haven't lost here since 2016 when Pitt beat them on the last-second field goal. Good pocket this time. Rattler.
Wow.
And it got there in time. It looked like it might be picked off, but it was caught by Josh Vann for a first down out at the 46.
If there's ever any question about the arm talent of Spencer Rattler, this is a rope. It is almost intercepted, but he threw that from the right hash to the deep left sideline on a frozen rope. A beautiful throw for a 3rd down and 10 conversion.
Just before R.J. Mickens arrived for the Clemson defense.
First down, play action, deep shot is what they did last week a lot.
Up the middle, nothing doing again for Lloyd. Redshirt sophomore from Wilmington, Delaware.
One of the things they did exceptionally well against Tennessee was on early downs. They did some max protection with multiple tight ends or keep the back in and take some shots downfield, and they hit them for big plays. And that was also helpful in avoiding 3rd down and long yardage situations.
Rattler trying to set up a screen, well defended. Threw it at the feet of Marshawn Lloyd. It was Peyton Page, who's a backup defensive lineman, providing some pressure. But it was remarkable what South Carolina did on offense last week. 63 points, the most ever allowed by Tennessee in an SEC game. The most ever by an unranked team versus a top 5 team in the AP poll era. And they had 35 first downs, the school record.
And they had not had more than 17 in the previous 5 games. It was just off the charts offensive productivity a week ago.
In 3 of the previous 4 games, they didn't reach 300 yards of offense. Rattler fires, intended for Vann. He was well covered by Nate Wiggins, who has really come along as the season has progressed. Wes Goodwin said the biggest part of the improvement of the defense, the development of the secondary, you can see the confidence building.
Well, we were at the game in Wake Forest, and that secondary got torched. They struggled, and Nate Wiggins, more than anybody, struggled in that game. But they have matured. They've gotten healthy. They got Sheridan Jones back, and now they're a much better complement to that front 7.
Kroger on the punt again. And another beautiful punt, high, and a fair catch made by Williams at the 10. Time for today's hardest working player. It's brought to you by Duluth Trading Company, and it's Will Shipley.
Well, Will Shipley is the heart and soul of this Clemson offense, and maybe the team. One of the big leaders on the team, only a sophomore. He will run over you, around you, through you. He's not an overly big guy, but he runs with great pad level and power, and he's always moving forward. I mean, his running style and his work ethic, I think, is what inspires the rest of his team as a leader.
Only player in the country who has at least 950 rushing yards, 150 receiving yards, and 200 kickoff return yards. 739 last year as a true freshman, injury-limited season. As we said, started the day needing 40 for 1,000 this year. To be the 23rd time that a Clemson rusher has reached 1,000. He has a big gainer there out across the 20-yard line to the 25, a gain of 15.
Because DJ has run so much recently, you have to respect the inside quarterback run. That little fake kind of sucked in the defense, and Shipley has the speed to get the ball to the perimeter. Had 128 yards against South Carolina last year in the game in Columbia.
30-0 Clemson. Way to Uiagalelei. Never saw the pressure from behind. Zach Pickens, the senior from right down the street in Anderson, South Carolina, about a 20-minute drive away from Clemson.
Well, there's a new left guard in there. That's Mitchell Mays, and that's who got beat on the pressure. It was quick pressure, but it was also excellent coverage downfield by Darius Rush. They tried to go for a deep pass to Bo Collins, who they just got back.
Mays in for Marcus Tate, who was the starting left guard, injured a knee early last week against Miami. They have confidence in Mays. He started earlier in the year at right guard when Walter Parks was out. Here's Shipley, the right. Run down from behind by Sherrod Green, a 6th-year senior. Still looking for his first win against Clemson.
Take a look now again. Man coverage. Darius Rush is a long, athletic corner. He's in perfect position on Bo Collins. They tried to fake the screen and go deep. That forced DJ to hold the ball a little bit long, and the result was a sack.
8.5 to go, opening quarter. 7-0 Clemson on a 35-yard interception return by Jeremiah Trotter.
Right now, South Carolina showing zero coverage. Look at the middle of the field. Not a single safety anywhere. It's man, it's inviting DJ to throw the football.
They back out of it a little bit. He fires, caught, first down. Joseph Ngata with Darius Rush in coverage.
Nice job by Ngata using his big frame. 6'3", 215 pounds. He's not going to run by you, but he did a good job of shielding the defender with his body and making the catch on the sideline.
Shipley and Phil Maffa now, the running backs, behind Uiagalelei. And it's Maffa to the 40, a gain of 4. We talked number 2 running back a lot of the year without Kobe Pace, who returned last week after missing 5 games with a high ankle sprain.
Now, Maffa's a really good downhill runner, physical, and to have both of those guys fresh in a fourth quarter is part of why this team has won all the games that they've won.
Shipley, he may go. Stumbled for a moment, it slowed him down, and they catch him inside the 15-yard line. Darius Rush ran him down, and Uiagalelei after the long fake, a nice block.
Well, Uiagalelei, but watch Parks, the right guard, Walker Parks, got the key block. DJ in there leading as well. And Shipley shows the speed when he gets through the inside. Nice little look with both backs in the backfield. Created some confusion for the South Carolina defense.
So that gets him over 1,000 yards for the season. 23rd time in Clemson history somebody's rushed for 1,000. 47-yard play, 4 rushes, 76 yards for Shipley. Antonio Williams inside the 10. Pulled down by Brad Johnson, another 6th-year senior at linebacker.
DJ Uiagalelei doing a little bit of everything. Lead block, they pulled the guard, Walker Parks. He got the first block. And then DJ's block is what sprung Shipley for the long gain. This is where DJ likes to run also.
And right on cue. Weaving inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson.
Well, they're going to pull the guard, Walker Parks, and he's actually going to miss the block. So there's a man there, but DJ, as big as he is, he has the ability to make people miss. He doesn't look nifty, but he is very quick in his movement and making people miss. He made 2 or 3 defenders miss on that run for the touchdown.
3 straight games with a rushing touchdown for Uiagalelei. First time he's done that in his career. 9-yard score, the extra point good by B.T. Potter. He did it all on that drive.
Absolutely. A little lead block action. Hit the pass on 3rd down. And then he calls his own number for the touchdown and a 14-0 lead for the Tigers.
If you already know that a blend of tender, marbled Wagyu beef makes the best burger, good for you. Arby's Wagyu Steakhouse Burger is back. You beef genius? Arby's, we have the meat.
The holidays are here, and Dick's Sporting Goods has all the best gifts for everyone on your list. The hottest footwear from Jordan, Nike, and Hoka. And the coolest apparel from all the best brands, plus must-have gifts from Yeti, Callaway, and The North Face. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com, where 1-hour pickup is always an option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. This season, give the gift of sport. Every holiday starts at Dick's.
This isn't about chasing some silly dream. It's about facing your destiny. head on. Are we about to turn back now? I say nay. We shall push forward to destiny.
Sure, Tim. Gently push in the clutch and put it in first.
A first for destiny. A first for destiny.
That's half the fun of a new house, seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun, too.
Oh, it's a tiny dancer.
They left a ton of stuff up here.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope. No, thank you.
Geico could help you save on homeowners and renters insurance. On a Fansville Homecoming by Dr. Pepper.
Surprise! CJ, we weren't expecting you.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing here?
Hey, go State.
You replaced me with star quarterback Bryce Young?
We could never replace you.
Here's your Dr. Pepper mom. Mom?
It's just a silly nickname.
He came up with Dad for me. Here you go, kid. Huh. They're my family now, CJ.
Next time on Fansville.
Hey, brother. Get out of my room!
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Hurry to get Black Friday deals now at Target. This week, save on the hottest gifts to get ahead this holiday. Event ends Saturday. Get low prices and great deals so you can holiday your way. Only at Target.
College football on ABC is presented by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats. And in part by Target. Score low prices and great deals only at Target.
Last win in this rivalry for South Carolina on November 30th, 2013. They forced 6 turnovers that day. Their 5th straight win. All of them under Steve Spurrier. BT Potter kicks off. And Xavier Legette's going to try it. They're 4th in the country in kickoff returns. But well covered there by Clemson. Sherrod Koval made the tackle. Coming up tonight, 7:30 here on ABC. Number 15, Notre Dame, the only team to defeat Clemson this year against number 6, USC. Trojans right in the thick of the college football playoff picture. Notre Dame 8-1 since an 0-2 start. USC on its way to the Pac-12 title game, but thinking about more, Caleb Williams, perhaps the leader in the Heisman Trophy race.
Incredible job by Lincoln Riley. Not only did he turn the roster over, but he got them all to buy into one theme and right where they want to be.
Swing pass to Jaheim Bell. Chopped down by Andrew Makuba. Bell was their leading running back the last 3 games without Marshawn Lloyd and Christian Beal-Smith, usually a tight end.
Very versatile guy. They can throw it to him, hand it to him. One of the things that Marcus Satterfield told us is, you know, by playing him at running back, we could guarantee more touches for him by just handing it to him, because they want him to touch the football at least 12 to 15 times a game.
Take the flip to Jalen Brooks. They fire downfield. And what a catch by Josh Vann.
Well, great catch. Vann down at the end of the play, but also tremendous protection. They faked the reverse. Nice job by Spencer Rattler hiding the football, but the protection was there for a long time. You'll see that coming across the field here. There's the fake. Look at the protection. Here comes Vann all the way across the field. And Rattler hits him for the completion.
To the 45-yard line, a 34-yard play.
One Bounty versus 2 of the leading ordinary brand. 1 sheet of Bounty absorbs more than 2 sheets of theirs. And the winner is Bounty. One and done. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Eat, play, eat, play, eat, play. Dave & Buster's Eat and Play Combo is back. Get an entree and a game card starting at $19.99. Now through November 27th only at Dave & Buster's.
Are you kidding me? Is that for me?
How?
Oh, can't wait to see what you got your mother.
The BMW Road Home Sales Event, on now. Receive a lease loyalty credit of up to $3,250 on select models now through November 30th.
Don't miss out on Walmart's Cyber Monday deals for days. You can score big on tech, toys, and more. This Cyber Monday, head online and don't miss out on our hottest deals of the season. That's Walmart's Deals for Days.
This is Cynthia Suarez, CFO of GoGo Food Co., an online food delivery service. Business was steady until...
GoGo Food Co.? Go check it out.
Overnight, users tripled, which meant hiring 20 new employees and buying 20 new laptops. So she used her American Express business card, which gives her more membership rewards points on her business purchases.
Somebody order some laptops?
Cynthia Suarez, CFO, MVB. Get the card built for business by American Express.
Free breakfast, anyone?